He ain't getting no fucking gas, but he's holding up the goddamn gas out. 3227. This bitch don't get a card. Fuck.
Mayor to run your city. Well, you get what's happening in today's video. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has been exposed for spending taxpayer money on anti-ICE signs around Los Angeles. Also, hospice fraud has hit California once again, and this latest story will leave you stunned. In Alabama, Tennessee have joined the fight in gerrymandering. People are screaming racism, but is it? Let's start with Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and what's really happening here. Take a listen.
Well, Christine, there's more than 450 of these signs now posted across the city. Just take a look at this one. Some people like them, while the feds call them politics.
There goes the sign right there.
A bold message now posted across Los Angeles. Signs going up declaring city property off limits for ICE.
The signs have no legal weight, force, or effect on anything the federal government does.
Federal authorities firing back, saying the words are just that.
Federal agents will go anywhere they need to go to enforce federal law, city property included.
At Lafayette Park, most people say they didn't notice the sign, but support the idea.
There's people's families out here, dude, and that's not right, man.
The message from LA, no immigration enforcement, no staging, processing, or operations at parks. Speaking with the federal government, they say that the sign doesn't really do anything for them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
More than 450 of these signs now posted at parking lots, libraries, the LA Zoo.
All right, bottom line up front. This is one of 99 reasons why Karen Bass will not win re-election. This is another reason why people have lost faith in her leadership, because she continues to do things that are not moving the needle or getting results for the people of Los Angeles. That's as clear as I can make it. When you're spending taxpayer money on signs that hold no weight, by the way, legally, and you just heard it, what are you doing exactly? Are you trying to send a signal to the local community that you're doing something? Well, you know, you can say that you're doing something, but if it doesn't lead to anything, then you're probably not doing much at all. And that's exactly what these signs are. It's really a shame that they're spending money doing things like this instead of cleaning up the streets.
And notably, MacArthur Park, where last summer Mayor Karen Bass asked Border Patrol agents to leave during an operation.
My comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now.
We asked the city how much these signs cost taxpayers and never heard back, but based on industry estimates, one sign and installation could run about $500, bringing the total to around $250,000.
So $250,000 on these signs. That's the estimate. Now understand something, it's probably $500,000 because the government always has a bad habit, by the way, of being overcharged for products and services. So, you know, it's not billions, obviously, it's not millions, it's nothing compared to the Medicaid fraud in California. But imagine this, if they are doing things like this at a small level, what are they doing at a bigger level, right? That's the real question.
Executive directives. Mayor Bass issued Executive Directive 17 for these signs earlier this year, now telling Fox 11, "I will not stand by while federal agents use our neighborhoods as staging grounds for fear and intimidation. City property will not be used to carry out these raids." Just to be clear, from a federal perspective, do these signs stop ICE?
Nope.
No, not at all. They're null and void. They mean nothing to us. And I look forward to her trying to enforce them.
She says that she will not stand by while ICE raids are being conducted. The problem is she has no legal authority to stop federal officers from executing ICE raids. She has no legal authority to stop them from doing so. So why waste your time, Mayor? Shouldn't you be focused on the other things that are plaguing Los Angeles, like, you know, fires that are happening because of these homeless encampments on the side of the highways? Yeah, that's a whole nother story, which just came out yesterday. Take a listen.
It is a fire that is burning under the 110, heavily impacted by homeless encampments. Now, they've made their way 60 feet under this tunnel without finding the fire, but what they did find is an endless amount of pack rat conditions from homeless people that are living in the tunnel under the 110 freeway, including wood structures that they've been bringing in here to use. The big development that is happening right now is they are going to shut down the 110 freeway on both sides. So all lanes of the 110 freeway leading into San Pedro and the ports of LA and Long Beach are going to be closed. Part of the reason is because on the west side of the fire, they have been able to figure out where they think it is burning, and they think it is burning above them in the tunnel, but underneath of the 110 freeway. So until they can definitively say where this fire is and put it out, put water on it, which they've not even been able to begun to do, they are concerned about traffic on the freeway. They're going to shut down the 110 freeway, both sides, as they deal with this. This is going to be a mess for commuters in that area. This is all just happening right now as you see the smoke coming out of the freeway. It doesn't look like a lot of smoke, but again, that fire is burning in there in pack rat conditions, too dangerous for fire crews to even make their way all the way into the tunnel. They're talking about bringing a robot in to try to make it through there, but then firefighters said there's so much homeless encampment debris in the tunnel, they don't even think that the robot would be able to make it through all of the stuff.
I mean, at this point, it's so obvious that people we elect are literally not only defrauding our tax dollars, but are involved in what we would call massive corruption. And this is why my good friend Ross Gibbons is doing a training this Thursday, May 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern time to teach you what exactly? Well, how members of Congress are conducting insider trading and how you can track those trades for yourself so you can benefit from it. And if you want to find this out, it's very simple. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen. It's totally free to sign up, by the way. I couldn't believe some of the stuff that he was teaching in this. It's very simple. I think you're going to love it. We had great feedback the last time this training happened, by the way. Again, this Thursday, May 7th, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Hit the link in the description below or go to insidertradeswithdevori.com and grab one of the final spots. I don't know what's more disturbing, the fact that there are people that are homeless hiding in storm drains and under the overpass in these tight spaces that when fires break out, there's not much firefighters could do. Which leads to obviously damages, death, and a disruption of the highway system, as you guys heard, or the fact that the city of Los Angeles spends $1.3 billion a year on homelessness. And let's go one step further for you. They underspend. A March 2026 report highlighted that in the previous fiscal year, the city left $473 million in homelessness funds unspent. What's going on? See, this is why people don't like paying taxes. This is why people overwhelmingly, when you really sit down and do the math, don't support the ideals that progressives hold in their way of approaching social policy in America. Because when you say we got to pay our fair share, when you say we need more money, when we say we got to tax the rich, how do I know you're going to spend the money properly? According to this, they're not even spending the money. And it's also fitting that I update you on this other thing, which is the arsonist who was behind the Pacific Palisades fire. Now it's official what his motives truly are, and the fact that he sympathized with Luigi Mangione, the assassin that killed the United Healthcare CEO. And also, he doesn't like the rich either. Take a listen.
Details in a pretrial memo are giving us a better understanding of Jonathan Rinderknecht's state of mind. Prosecutors say he ranted about being angry at the world, became obsessed with fire, and was fixated on the accused United Healthcare CEO shooter Luigi Mangione. Witnesses reported the Uber driver driving erratically while on routes around the Palisades on New Year's Eve. Court filings show Rinderknecht talked to his passengers about Mangione, capitalism, and vigilantism. Online, Rinderknecht type in search terms like free Luigi Mangione, let's take down all the billionaires, and Reddit, let's kill all the billionaires. In an interview with investigators on January 24th of last year, when asked why someone might commit arson in the Palisades, Rinderknecht responded that it would be out of resentment of the rich enjoying their money as we're basically being enslaved by them. He then again referenced Mangione's alleged assassination.
So what do we have here in this overall story? We have multiple contradictions, not coming from partisan hacks, but from the actual people involved in these particular situations. Let's go back to homelessness. The actual people who are homeless are continuing to contradict Mayor Karen Bass and overall California. As we know, they've spent billions and billions, and they can't tell you where the money went because we continue to see a rise in homelessness. So that's number one. And then number two, the actual arsonist who burned down the Pacific Palisades. Yeah, we now know why he did it. And what's interesting is it was Gavin Newsom 24 hours after the fact that said it was due to climate change. These people have no idea what the problem is, and in fact, they go a step further and apply solutions that don't work and end up backfiring, as we're seeing not only with these anti-ICE signs, but the waste of homelessness, which comes in at $1.3 billion a year for the city of Los Angeles. Let's stay in California because this is just too good. More Medicaid fraud. This is hospice scam that is happening in my hometown. Fox News is talking about it. I got to react to it. Take a listen.
Medicare provides every American roughly $35,000 for end-of-life care. Now, sometimes recruiters will sign people up for hospice without telling them that. Then they'll drain that account. The problem is when you really are terminally ill, the money is gone.
I feel really violated, really. That's the whole point.
In July, a stranger knocked on Trini and Enrique's door in Central California. He promised mattress pads, disposable briefs, and a new walker.
I just thought it was a program trying to help elderly people.
Unbeknownst to the couple, the salesman signed both up with Graceful Care Hospice, entitling the provider to more than $200 every day they stayed enrolled.
He never mentioned the name hospice.
A former soccer player, Enrique, lost his leg in a construction accident.
Yeah, he feels bad because of what they did.
My name is William Lajeunesse with Fox News. You're with Graceful Care?
Yes.
Can I talk to you a little about some questions of the care that you provided to individuals up in the Central Valley?
At the moment, I have some workers here doing some stuff.
Okay. Do you want us to wait outside?
We will go.
Okay, do you want us to wait outside?
Graceful Care Hospice is located 200 miles away near Los Angeles. It enrolled a few dozen patients in 2023 and 4, but last year claims skyrocketed, with the company billing Medicare $1.3 million for 109 patients on claims submitted by their physician, Dr. Stephen Pine, an 82-year-old OBGYN.
Okay, so number one, let's get this correct. An OBGYN is the guy signing off on hospice care paperwork. Tell me in what world does that make sense? Number two, isn't it fascinating how people like Elizabeth Warren complain about the rich every single day? She claims the rich is scamming the American people. Wait a minute. These people are actually scamming the American people, particularly seniors. And who was there to actually protect them? Which brings me to point number three. Thanks to Nick Shirley and X, obviously, because that's where the video originally went viral, everybody's aware now. Everybody's knocking on doors. And I hope this continues. But you know what California will say, particularly the governor? They're harassing these companies. Wait a minute. The companies are actually harassing the victims. That's what's happening.
Did you ever speak to a doctor?
No. No.
Dr. Pine, this is William Lajeunesse with Fox News. I reached Pine by phone. He initially claimed not to know Graceful Care, denied wrongdoing, and yet here's his name on Enrique's prescription. Ma'am, we have some questions about Trini and Enrique. That you signed up for hospice?
It's not Trini and Enrique here.
No, they're not here. They're patients of yours up in the Central Valley. We went and interviewed them yesterday. They were signed up for hospice by one of your employees.
He proceeded to sign her and her husband up for hospice, but never disclosed to her that it was hospice.
Graceful Care says that's not accurate, and yet take a look at these receipts. A hospital bed, oxygen system, wheelchair, and dozens of more supplies from Graceful Care. You can see it does say Graceful Care here.
They're billing Medicare for these things, yes.
They're billing Medicare.
They brought the patient on and accessed the patient's hospice benefit and then didn't provide hospice services.
Darren and Diana Peterson of American Hospice took over Trini and Enrique's case.
I want these people to be caught or out of business.
See, when I hear this story, it just demonstrates how good things in this administration can easily be overshadowed. There's so many people being negatively affected by fraud, and we now have an administration, probably more than any time in history, focused on rooting out fraud. Now, we know the source of the most fraud in
What's up, Miss Monroe?
So you?
Fucking bitch made me wait till 1 o'clock. And I can't turn around because I'm in North Georgia. I'm headed to South Georgia. And I wasn't going to turn around and come back up here. So I sat at the Ingalls and took a nap. And they pissed me off because they couldn't afford it. I was going to do the hookup, but by the fact they made me wait till 1 o'clock, I was like, you know what? I wouldn't even try to help her if I could. I could have helped them, but by the fact I ain't no way gonna be there at 1 o'clock. I said, ain't this a bitch? And when I pulled up, it looked like they'd been there the whole time. And now I'm headed to Noonan, and this motherfucker said, well, I ain't gonna be here at 4 o'clock. I'm gonna get there at 2:30. I called him. I said, well, I gotta head your way. And then I gotta go from there to Hampton. So I got these people. One of the problems is I selected the time. They selected the time when I accepted the job, but I'm trying to see if they gonna be home. But they're sticking to the time windows, which is slowing me down. So now I'm going to sit at Noonan. I should get there at 2:30, but they not going. He said, we ain't gonna be there at 4. He there now. You there now, but you're not gonna be there at 4. Yeah, you see what I'm going through? That's what's going on. Just riding it on out. As soon as I get there, and that means, like, this customer just now, I could have helped them out, cause Post wants $753. I could have saved them $200-300, but you know what? You made me wait till 1 o'clock when your funky ass been in there the whole time. You think I'm gonna help you?
So did it look like they needed to like clean up before you got there? Like, what's the reason?
No, look like they've been watching TV the whole time. Sitting in the house watching TV. That bitch ain't look like she ain't came back from nowhere. She been in there since the time I called at 9 o'clock this morning. I'm sorry, 10 o'clock this morning. So I had to wait from 10, 11, 12, 1 at Ingalls. And I was going to try to, but some said, well, that bitch made you wait all this time. You could have been done. You could have hooked her up and everything, on the low. But since they made me wait, I ain't say shit. I just got my little diagnostic. I went in there 5 minutes, wait 5 hours. For 5 minutes, and you can tell they've been there the whole time. Just like this clown I'm going to go see now. I know he ain't going no fucking way. You don't help me out. I'm like, fuck it.
You don't go out your way.
I'm going out my way to help your ass. Now I got to go from 75 all the way through downtown to 285 to Noonan, 85 South, and go sit there and wait. And then I got to go to Hampton. It's got to go that way because Hampton is on the way to on the way to Loganville.
Oh yeah, okay. I was wondering why that sounded like your last stop.
Yeah,
is it close to home?
That's on the way to Loganville. I don't want to go there and then turn back around, come right back to Noonan. That's going away and then coming back.
And coming back to just to come back.
Right. So
go
to Noonan and sit around the corner. It's one of them days.
Yeah, I get it.
I got your apple pie.
You did?
Yeah.
From where?
Ingles.
Oh.
I ate one. It was 2 in the pack, so. Ate one to say you one.
Oh, let me get that. I seen your little video.
Which one?
When you marry your opposite and he's in the fan and she just...
Somebody watching us.
I seen that shit. I cried. Oh, like, okay, man, I hear you. You see, last night I didn't put no fan on.
But I did.
I didn't. Yeah, no, I noticed. I ain't saying that. I ain't put no fan on because I didn't eat no junk. I didn't drink no juice, no chocolate, no juice. I just pure water. And I have my wet rag right here. I just say, you know what? If I can't take it, I'll just go into my room and put on my fan. I'll just go there.
I just can't put it right directly in my mouth because of my lungs.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it down at the foot of the bed, why you can't do it from my side? Because you want it right there on you.
It has to be on you. It has to be on it. Yeah. So I just, I'll do what I'll make it work.
Unless I wear a mask to bed.
Yeah, I can't do that. I won't be able to sleep in that bed with you, for real. Like, real talk. I'm not sleeping with nobody with no fucking mask. That ain't happening. I'll go into my room and I will get my fan. And I was like, shit, if this fan is messing with him, he won't be able to take the fan that's in my office right now. He would not be able to take that fan in the room. And it's clean though. You know what I mean? It's clean. Yeah. But it's power.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Your apple pie.
Thank you. I took out the fish. I figure I'll do. We can, you can, I can. We could do something with that fish. What you think?
I'm bringing you an apple pie.
Okay, I'll do something when I get off at 6 o'clock. I'll do something at 6 o'clock when I get off to the fish.
And I'm bringing you a salad.
Oh, apple pie and a salad. Yeah. Where's this salad from? Because I don't eat it.
From the you know how you go in the Ingles, they have all them salads out there.
And did you check the leaves?
The who?
The leaves.
Girl, this shit is delicious. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, bring it. I'm definitely for the salad life. Okay. So I'll just make the fish and I could put that on my salad.
There you go.
Boom.
I ate mine and I'm full, so you ain't got to worry about me nibbling.
On the salad? Oh, you got a salad too?
Yeah. Girl, they only $2 and change for a big ass bowl of salad.
That's why I said check the leaves.
No,
because
we gotta start going to Ingles to eat. Them salads. That shit costs what? $7 at Zaxby's? Big ass bowl of salad. All you put what you want on it. You know? And I said this shit cost about $15. It's actually $2 and change. We gotta start going to get us
what you put on mine?
Tomatoes, spinach, ranch dressing, cheese, olives. It's like I did right.
Yeah, they still
I did the same one, and it's mine gone, so it was good.
Cool beans. Okay, I clock back in 1 minute at 1:36. Boom.
I'm on 75 up here in Marietta. Headed to Noonan, Georgia, which is down below the airport. Now you see why I sat up here, because I wasn't going to turn around and come back up here. Gas up there, gas up here. It's $4.29. Damn.
Is that? That's a lot.
Yeah, because we are only $3.71. They paying $4.29.
Damn. What time is that? 1:35.
All right, time for you to go.
Okay, baby, love you. Call me when you're done. All right.
White people side, we can't get around. Sanchez. No, that's Sanchez.
Oval Office on this magnificent spring day, and it is indeed a beautiful day to celebrate America's athletic traditions and champions in physical fitness and all of those things that I work so hard at on a personal basis. I work out so much, like about 1 minute a day max, if I'm lucky. I want to thank Secretaries Pete Hegseth, who just gave a great news conference with General Raisin Kane. And that was really good, and you're doing very well. They don't like playing games with us. They don't like it at all. You'll see that. As time goes by, you're going to see it. I think you've already seen it. We basically wiped out their military in about 2 weeks. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's done an incredible job. Scott Turner, that everybody knows, and a legend, Linda McMahon, head of education in our country, and she's doing a fantastic job. They all are. We're also pleased to be joined by respected sports leaders and members of the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. We really have some incredible people. It's like a who's who. Bryson, how many do we have on the council total?
Oh, it's got to be upwards of 30, actually.
Yeah, a lot, and all top.
Yes, sir.
If they weren't really good, we don't allow them. You're going to be really good. Like Gary Player, as an example, he won 168 tournaments over a very average career. You know, think of it. He won 168 tournaments, 18 majors, 9 and 9 senior. He has more championships than anybody, national championships than anybody. And I played with him. He's very proud of it, actually. He played with him on his 90th birthday. He very easily, on a tough course, from 6,800 yards, he very easily shot a 70. And it was the easiest 70. And normally, if you shoot a 70 and you're 90, you'd run around so excited. Gary's like, all right, let's have a little lunch. He was the most unexcited human being I've ever seen. Because he's been doing it all his life. He's been winning the top 3 in history, in my opinion. I don't think it's my opinion. Just based on the record, Gary is top 3. Jack and Tiger and Gary, greatest golfers. So thanks for being here. And as you know, we have the U.S. Open champion. And he won 2 U.S. Opens. But that last one was unbelievable. He hit I think Gary's one of the greatest shots ever hit to win a U.S. Open, certainly. One of the top, they say one of the top 3. I don't know what the other 2 are. But he hit an unbelievable sand shot, sank a 4.5-foot putt, and he won the U.S. Open. And he's been a great golfer from the day he was born, if you believe in genetics, because I do. But he won, he won the U.S. Amateur years ago, and he won it quite easily. But he's a great person and a great friend of mine, Bryson DeChambeau. And thank you, Bryson. And you're very much in charge of this whole operation of the sports. He's so much into physical fitness. All you have to do is take a look at him. And you say, why is he even doing this? Because I think if you didn't work out at all, you'd still look almost like you do right now. But you are doing great. And everybody respects Bryson. He's the longest hitter in golf. And he's straight. And frankly, maybe the best part of his game, Gary, is he's a great putter. Absolutely. You played with him, right?
And an asset to the game.
And he's a great asset, and he's a great person. And we have, along with the University of Florida's basketball coach, Todd Golden. Todd, where's Todd?
Right here.
Todd, hi, Todd.
Great to see you, brother.
And what a job, by the way, what a job you've done. I see that. I'm a little busy to watch the games, but I always see your team is right up there.
Yeah.
You're doing a fantastic job as a young guy. An American hockey hero, TJ Oshie, who's one of the best hockey players in the world. TJ, it's good to be.
Thanks for having me.
How's your golf game? The hockey players, Bryson was saying, the hockey players seem to be the best, of the athletes seem to be the best golfers. Yeah.
It's the greatest game.
Yeah, it's great. And he's a good golfer. He's a 3 handicap, maybe better, right? That's very good. But stick, right?
Yeah.
But stick to hockey,
yeah.
Right? As a 3, he has to stick to hockey. That's great. What a career you've had too at a young age, and professional baseball pitcher Noah Syndergaard, sometimes referred to as Thor, and he looks like Thor to me. That's where is he? It's very hard to make. You look great. And as a man, I wouldn't want to get into a fight with him, I can tell you. That would not be a good situation, Gary. This year we celebrate 250th anniversary of our country, and it's our nation's founding. It's a big deal. In addition, we have the World Cup, and which is just now started, and we have the Olympics. I got them both, and I was very proud of myself. I tried to say I got the 250th also, but that didn't work out too well. But I did get both the World Cup and I got the Olympics, and I was very proud of that. But I was very sad actually, because I got them in my first term, and I said, oh wow, I'm not going to be able to go as president because they were in 6 years, so I wouldn't be president. I thought I'd easily win the election, which by the way I did, and unfortunately bad things happened. It was a rigged election, and I said, well, I'll do it again. I had the ultimate poll. I did so well. And I had the ultimate poll, and we won in a landslide. We won every single swing state. We won the popular vote. We won everything you can win. We won 87% of the counties in the United States. And I ended up with the Olympics, and I ended up with the World Cup. And very importantly, maybe the most important, is we have the 250th anniversary. On June 14th, we're going to have the UFC, and the biggest fight they've ever done by far. It's the hardest ticket I've ever been involved with. They're building a 5,000-seat stadium right by the front door of the White House, and then they're going to have anywhere from 75 to 100,000 people in the park, right past the White House, with 8 tremendous screens. And then we have Roger Penske. So that's Dana White's dream. What that is, it's going to be amazing. And then we have Roger Penske is going to have a big championship Indy around the Capitol, and the Indy racers, and he's been trying to get it here for 25 years. And he said, I came to Washington exactly 121 times, and I was never able to get it. I came once to see you, and we had it done in a half an hour. And he's fantastic. He's won 20 Indianapolis 500s. Can you believe that? Other, countries, and I say it all the time, I gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, like I gave to Gary too, because of his career. And then Roger, on his 18th, I called him, I said, come on, I want to give you the president. You won 18. Japan, Germany, all these countries, they spend billions and billions of dollars, and they don't, it's very hard for them to win. They don't win very, very much. They spend all that money, and Roger just wins it all the time. So I gave it to him on the 18th win, and since then he's won, that was 4 years ago, since then he's won 2 more. So he's going to be here with the Indy cars, and it's going to be the biggest race maybe ever. And they're going to be circling the Capitol. We have Pennsylvania Avenue closed down, and I said, do you like the course? He said, I love the course. I said, pick the best course, we'll get it for you. Don't go the easy way. Pick the best roads. I don't care, it doesn't matter. And he picked he said it's as good as you can get, and unfortunately he picked the most important roads in the city, which is a little tougher, but we got it done for him quickly, and that's going to be in August. So we have a lot of really exciting things happening. So today I signed a proclamation recognizing National Youth Sports and Fitness, and I'll also sign the very first copy of the new revitalized Presidential Fitness Test Award, a certificate in recognition of achievement of the gold standard of physical fitness. And this is something that Bryson DeChambeau wanted to do very badly. Bryson's amazing. I mean, I say he's somebody that can put on 25, 30. At one point, I guess he put on almost 50 pounds. Remember, he looked like a linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he decided he didn't like himself in that way. It was all muscle, yeah. It was like crazy. He looked like a massive football player. He wouldn't want to play Monopoly. And he said he didn't like it. He developed too much speed. Here's the problem with people. He had too much speed. He wanted to bring it down a little bit. So he lost. He can put on weight, like up and down like a yo-yo. And he doesn't take the shot, okay? He doesn't need the fat shot. I said, do you ever take this shot? He didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. What shot? No, he can put it on. He's a scientist. He's like a scientist with his body. He's a great guy, and he's an absolute champion, so I appreciate it. But Bryson really wanted to bring it back, because we are bringing it back. It's something that's A lot of people, the wrong people, probably were involved. I don't know, but this is a group of people that physical fitness is everything. Gary Player, by the way, you talk about golf. He was always considered in the best shape of anybody. He was long ahead of the rest of the world. Now you see all these guys have a 28-inch waist. They walk down, it's like robots, right? But Gary was always, he was way ahead of everybody else. From the late 1950s until 2013, great schoolers across the country competed against each other in the presidential fitness test, but others. And then we had the Obama administration. Wonderful, wonderful person, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? We had the Obama administration, which phased out this wonderful tradition of physical fitness. Thank you, Barack, very much. Great job. And we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back. My administration's working very hard to defend America's cherished athletic traditions and pass our values of excellence and competitiveness to the next generation. So important. We're working on historic reforms to save college sports, and we banned men from competing in women's sports. That was sort of an easy one. They say, you know, the radical left says, that's an 80-20 issue. No, it's 99-1. They say 80-20. Who are the 20%? I've never met anybody. Nobody's ever come up. So I've been president for 5 years, and nobody's ever come up to me and said, sir, you have to allow men to play in women's sports. You know, I've never had one person say it's really important that we allow women to be challenged by men in women's sports, and it doesn't work. So we did that, and with the help of Secretary Kennedy, who's with us, we're striving constantly to make America healthy again, and that's what we're doing. We have unbelievable numbers coming. Bobby will mention it. We have unbelievable numbers coming. So these next few years will be a golden age for American sports, just like it's a golden age for America. You know, we hit an all-time high stock market today, despite that we're in a little skirmish, military. I call it a skirmish because Iran has no chance. They never did. They know it. They express it to me when I talk to them. Then they get on television. They say how well they're doing. And they have no Navy, totally wiped out. They have no Air Force, totally wiped out. They have no anti-aircraft capability, totally wiped out. No radar. They have no leaders. The leaders are wiped out. The whole thing. And then I read the papers and they say how well they're doing. They're not doing well. That's why you have no credibility. No credibility. The news, the fake news, has no credibility, but the President's Cup, it's going to be something, and we're going to have that. We're going to do very special presentations to Johnny, who, as you know, is the commissioner. He's a fantastic person who runs the soccer. And if, I don't know if you know this, but so more tickets have been sold earlier than at any World Cup they've ever had. And the numbers are more than double. They've never seen anything like it. So it's really soccer. I don't know if soccer is taken off or not taken off, but the World Cup is doing numbers like they've never done. They've never done anywhere close. And we have the Patriot Games in honor of our 250th anniversary this fall. It's going to be all on television. And with us, it's like the ones that we have here. We're going to continue to win. Our country is doing great. We're breaking records in every way, and it was too bad, but I had to do it. We can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. You might be too young for this. I don't know if I will. They probably know. They probably know better than most people. But you can't let a bunch of lunatics have a nuclear weapon, or the world would be in trouble. The world would be in trouble. So we just hit records on the Dow. It was supposed to be done in 5 or 6 years. Somebody said it couldn't be possible to reach 50 on the Dow, and I reached 50 in the first year. And then I reached 7,000, and by the way, just set a new record. The S&P just set a new record, so much higher, 7,500. But they said even harder than 50 on the Dow is getting to 7,000 on the S&P. We did that by the end of the first year, all before the end of the first year, Gary. So think of that. They said we couldn't do it in 4 years, and we did it at the end of the first year. And then, you ever have this? And then I called all my people and I said, we just set every record in the book. The economy is going great. I ended 8 wars. Nobody else ever ended a war. And the person that won the Nobel Prize, Maria, she's a good person. She said, I don't deserve this. This deserves to President Trump. There's never been a man that deserves a Nobel. He ended 8 wars, including India, Pakistan, which would have been a nuclear war. 8 of them. And I called everybody in, Gary, and I said, you know what? We just broke every record, and now we're going to take a hit because we have to make a journey down to Iran to take the nuclear weapon. They would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks. Remember, we sent that beautiful B-2 bomber in, and we blew up their nuclear potential. It was obliterated, for those that are not aware, and to a point where it would take them weeks to dig down, and we wouldn't let them dig down. We have our eyes on it all the time. But it was a very important thing. So we would have had an Iran with a nuclear weapon, and maybe we wouldn't all be here right now. I can tell you the Middle East would have been gone, Israel would have been gone, and they would have trained their sights on Europe first and then us, because they're sick people. These are sick people. And we're not going to let lunatics have a nuclear weapon. The power of a nuclear weapon is something I don't even want to talk about. It's not going to happen. And we have beaten them badly. They're talking, now they're reduced to little boats with a machine gun on the front of them, because they had a navy of 159 ships. Every single ship in the first week was, right, Pete? Every single ship they had is resting underwater, right? At the bottom of the sea. They have no navy. It's totally wiped out. Same thing with their Air Force. So we're doing well, but it's all about, having a great country. And one of the things I think that when they talk about physical fitness, one of the things I noticed about friends of mine, all of the people, all of the great athletes here, is their mind is better than people that aren't fit. It's because I think the mind, once you hit a ball well, or you do whatever it is that you run well, or play hockey as great as you play it, but once you obviously have to have a certain physicality. You can't have somebody with a great mind and zero athletic talent, right? But when you get up to that league, it's all about the mind. The mind is so important, and these people express it, I think, better than anybody. So with that, I'd like to ask somebody that's done really an incredible job. He has got some group of people that love him, some big group of people. It was a big day when he endorsed me for president. Very unusual, because I happen to be a Republican. I would say that Republicans were not too big in the Kennedy family, but they're big now because he's the biggest in the group, and everybody respects him a lot. He's doing a fantastic job. So, Bobby, would you say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. President. Almost immediately after my uncle was elected in 1960, he came across some federal data that showed that 5% of American kids were obese. And that was more than double the European number. And he became very concerned that Americans were becoming soft. And he published an article before his inauguration called The Soft American, in which he said that there's a national security issue. It threatens our economy. We need a vigorous population that is in good shape spiritually, morally, physically, if we're going to continue to exercise leadership around the world. And he launched the physical fitness test, which became a milestone for my generation, for several generations after me. It was an enduring rite of passage for us that everybody in my generation remembers. It was a benchmark also because we did pull-ups, sit-ups, shuttle runs, and a number of other events, and it was a benchmark for measuring national physical fitness. Around that time, my uncle came across correspondence between Teddy Roosevelt and the head of the commandant of his Marine Corps. And Teddy Roosevelt asked him, what are the metrics? What are the physical requirements?
We should compete. And there's winners and there's losers. That we need to infuse into our young people. And obviously it takes young people to run a military. And as the secretary pointed out, almost 3/4 of American young people do not qualify for military service. And a lot of that has to do with their physical fitness. So we're proud at the War Department to put this first into Department of War education activity. Our schools, 161 of them, across 30 installations. It's going to be mandatory for the young kids of those service members who use those schools. And we hope that's a pilot for all of American education. We hope the rest of America follows. We need young, strong, healthy Americans, whether you serve in the military or any other aspect of your life. And I think this presidential fitness test, Mr. President, is a perfect thing to restore. That sets those standards high for young people and something for them to achieve. The idea that competition is bad is the beginning of decline of a nation. Competition is critical to who we are and ensuring America stays on top. And speaking of staying on top, Mr. President, we are, as we talked about this morning, Project Freedom is ongoing. We're ensuring that we have control of that strait, which we do. And ultimately, Iran has a choice to make. And they know we're in a strong position. We hope they make a wise choice, and nobody better to make that deal, Mr. President, than you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Doing a great job. A man who's in you talk about athletes. This is a very serious athlete. Happens to be in charge of a little thing called housing. Yes, say a few words.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to all the great athletes and ambassadors that are here, and to the kids that are here. You know, that word competition, I made a living competing, you know, and being in the top physical fitness that I could be and playing in the National Football League. And one thing I want to remind the kids and really our country is competition brings out the best in us, be it in sport, be it in business, be it in education. And you always want to be the best you can be, as Bryson said, every single day getting better. And I'm grateful that I had an opportunity to play in the National Football League, but it taught me how to be a good teammate. It taught me how to be humble in victory and to be steadfast, you know, in defeat, as all these great athletes know. And Mr. President, thank you for just your leadership in our country, but also for this important issue of having physically healthy children and a physically healthy nation. And Bobby, thank you for reminding us of your uncle and your father, of how important it is for us to be, to look at the man holistically, spiritually, morally, physically, mentally. And I think America historically has been the leader in all of those areas, but we are at a critical function in our nation. And so I would encourage everyone, this transcends politics. You know, physical fitness is good for every man and woman and child in the United States of America. So, Mr. President, I'm committed to this. I've seen the benefits of it in my own personal life. My family and my cabinet colleagues are 100% behind this. And so I would encourage all the young people of America, parents, teachers, educators, to take inventory and hear what these leaders are saying about the national security of our country, and make sure that we're encouraging our young people to get out, get your hands dirty, get your knees going, get on the monkey bars, start running and jumping and playing together. Because if you're a good teammate, the stronger team we are, the stronger country we are. So thank you, sir.
Well, thank you. I have to just say we have a star named Linda McMahon, and she's made a tremendous amount of money on sports. At sport, they are great athletes, in my opinion. WWE, her great husband, what they built is incredible. They sold it for a fortune, billions and billions of dollars. You made more than Bryson and Gary. If you add it up, would you say a few words? And she's one of our great stars. She is a phenomenal person. Go ahead.
Well, that intro is a hard act to follow. But I think what we've talked a lot about fitness, and I think that's incredibly important because that's what all this is about. But you know, the Greeks had an axiom: sound mind and a sound body. So as Secretary of Education, clearly, I want all of our schools to be able to adopt, you know, these programs. We don't control curriculum from the Department of Education, but I sincerely hope the emphasis that is being refocused on kids and being fit and being able to compete. It's what you've said, Pete. All of us are saying the same thing, but let's not forget, it's about also a sound mind and a sound body. In order to have a sound mind, you do have to eat well, you do have to exercise, you do have to train, and you do have to be fit to do that. And if we all are, we are the best at who we can be. So I encourage all of you to enjoy playing and competing and being good sports, you know, while you're doing. But don't forget you're studying, all of your academics, because it is all part of the total package.
Thank you, Linda. Great job. Appreciate it. So we have a couple of other guys. If you guys wanted to say anything, or we'll just take some questions. And if you'd like, you can ask the big guy, how fast did he throw it? He threw it very fast. It was very scary. Scary. You want to say something?
I guess I'll just
reiterate the thanks, Mr. President. Thank you, the cabinet members, for this opportunity to be here. Thank you, Bryson, to allow me to be in this elite company of people. It's a pleasure to meet all you guys. And
let me look at you. You're an embodiment of the physical fitness test. So we gotta get you.
He is seriously a good physical specialist. And Coach, you've done great at Florida. Thank you very much.
No, incredible honor to be here. This is something that I'm passionate about, and I think it's imperative that we're doing this for our youth right now. Through experience, my wife and I have 2 young kids, 9 and 7. They're very active, very athletic, but I can see some of their classmates and some of their teammates, staring at screens all day. And again, as I said, it's really important that we do this now. And not only I think this will improve the overall physical health of our young people, but I think it'll also help the mental health of our young people as well.
And just in case you don't know, he is a coach who just came to a team and just took it right from the beginning here. Just unbelievable job you've done.
Thank you very much.
You're a very rich guy. They'll pay him minimum. I want to represent him. They'll pay him. He comes in and just pulls this over. Congratulations. Who's going to win in hockey?
It's a tough one. Colorado's a favorite. I like Minnesota, though.
We're going to watch, okay?
Yeah, it'll be good.
We're going to watch. Great job. Great job you've done. Thank you. And we're going to go outside. Did you want to ask a few questions of any of the people here? Please.
Can I ask you about Iran, Mr. President?
Yes.
They fired at U.S. ships several times in the last 24 hours. What do they need to do to violate the ceasefire?
Well, you'll find out, because I'll let you know. They know what to do, and they know what to do. And they know what not to do, more importantly, actually. And, they fired them in little boats with pea shooters, the pea shooters, little boat, why? Because they don't have any boats anymore. The Navy is comprised of, they call them little boats. Right? And they're fast, they're so fast that they had 8 of them and they're all gone. And they're fast, but they're not fast like a missile. A missile is slightly faster. They're all gone, so they're looking around for little boats to try and compete with our great Navy. We have a Navy that's unbelievable. We set up a blockade, as you know very well. Not one ship. A couple tried, and they got their engine shut out. You remember? I think it was one of them. It was a great display. A ship wanted to go through, break the blockade. They were warned not to, and then they were warned again by a young Annapolis captain of the ship with a great look, central casting. These people are central casting, I'll tell you. And he said, don't do it. Then he said, evacuate your engine room with this unbelievable loudspeaker that goes over water. He said, you have 10 seconds. And then from 4 miles with one bullet, it went right into the engine. And Gary, the ship stopped very quickly. They hit the engine with one shot. It wasn't a missile. They don't want to waste a missile on it. It's too easy. And we had another one at 2000, one of the biggest ships in the world. They were warned, and he said, go back now, go back right now. You will be shot at within 10 seconds. Yes, I am going back to Iran. I am going back. And that was the end of that. He went. It took him 10 miles to turn. The ship was so big, but they respect us. They didn't used to respect us, but they respect us more than we've ever been respected. Our country now is the hottest country anywhere in the world. We had a country that was dead when we had that group of people that ran this country with their open borders, letting anybody come in from the Congo, from countries all over the world. They came in from prisons and mental institutions. We had a country that would have been a dead hit. If they won the election, this country would have been a dead country. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said recently that if Iranians were armed, they could take over their regime. Do you plan to arm them soon?
Well, I don't want to say that, but yeah, I mean, people say, why aren't they protesting? They want to protest, but they don't have any guns. So you could have 200,000 people protesting and have 5 or 6 sick people with guns. And when they start shooting them right between the eyes, and you see a guy fall and another one fall, and you have no guns, very few people would be able to stand there and do it. I mean, I understand it. I tell them not to. Don't forget, they killed 42,000 people last month. 42,000 unarmed protesters. They had no guns. So they had a 250,000 people crowd. And they had snipers. They had like 4 or 5 snipers in buildings up high. And you're standing there, and all of a sudden the guy on your left goes down. And somebody, that's what happened with a woman protest. They had 200,000 women protesting a year ago. And everyone thought that was the end of Iran. And then all of a sudden, a woman dropped dead with a bullet right there, always right there. Then another woman dropped, and then the word started to spread. And then there was panic, and then they ran, and so I don't want that to happen. We don't need that, we don't need it. But the only reason that they want to protest so badly, but they don't have weapons. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next week, you have a very important meeting with President Xi in Beijing. Secretary Bessent has said that a top priority on the agenda will be Iran. What do you hope to achieve with President Xi as it relates to Iran?
Well, I have a very good relationship with President Xi. I find him to be a tremendous guy, and we get along well, and you see how we do. We're doing a lot of business with China and making a lot of money. We're making a lot of money. It's different than it used to be. But I'll be talking about, that'll be one subject. But he's been very nice about this, In all fairness, he gets like 60% of his oil from Hormuz, and I think he's been very respectful. We haven't been challenged by China. They don't challenge us, and he wouldn't do that. I don't think he'd do that because of me. But I think he's been very respectful. And we've offered, if he wants to send the ships to the United States. I think one of the big things that's happened is I made a statement. Send your ships to Texas. It's not that much further. Send your ships to Louisiana. Send your ships to Alaska. Alaska is actually very close to a lot of the Asian countries. People don't realize it. Japan is back and forth. It's like, it doesn't seem it, but it's a very short route. 2 days shorter than almost any other route. We're making tremendous big deals with South Korea and with Japan. But I said, send your ships. All of a sudden, I don't know if you saw the graph today. And this is Space Force, which I created. Space Force has, they just sent out some photos of the ships that are lined up all the way down the ocean, like it's a highway. It looks like the Long Island Expressway for ships. And they're all heading to Texas, Louisiana. We've made up this list, and that's why when I decided that I have to do this for the good of the world, not just the United States, in a way, we would have been in less trouble than a lot of other places. Certainly the Middle East would have been blown up. There wouldn't be a Middle East anymore. They would have taken over the Middle East. Now they're trying to survive, and they won't be successful unless they make a deal. Oh, if they don't make a deal, they won't be successful. It'll go very quickly and methodically. Believe me, it'll be very easy. But we have so many alternatives. It's amazing. And nobody knew this, because as an example, Japan got 90% of their oil, most of their energy, but most of their oil from the Hormuz Strait. South Korea got 43% of it. By the way, their ship was shot at. They were not in the cavalcade of ships. They decided to go it alone, and their ship got the hell knocked out of it yesterday. But they didn't shoot the ships that were guarded by us, I'll tell you that. We knocked down a lot of missiles. So what happens is that we have a situation where we have total control. As you know, the blockade's been amazing. It's like a piece of steel. Nobody's going to challenge the blockade. And I think it's working out very well. We're going to see.